Hi, pretty girls.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hi, pretty girls. Hey. All right. Now, my icebreaker tonight is just basically a quick question. By the raising of hand, how many of you have been in the hospital before overnight? Raising, I don't want to see alligator arms. I know we live in Florida, we got the gator arm thing going. I want to see your hand up high. How many of you have had to spend the night in the hospital because you were sick? When she was born. Overnight. Overnight. Slept in the hospital. Mom had to go home and,
the bathrooms
and leave you at the hospital and come back and again.
The bathrooms are locked. They're gonna go downstairs to the first floor.
Okay, look around, ladies, and see how many hands we see.
Oh, what was the question?
How many of you spent the night in the hospital because you were sick? And your parent had to leave you and come back, and or you had, well, even if you were an adult, you were sick and your family had to leave and come back. Okay. How many of you know of other people who've been in the hospital and you had to go to the hospital to visit them because they were sick? I do it all the time. Like social nurse tonight. She's wired after 12 hours, I can see. Okay, if you notice, there were only a very few hands that went up, that you had to be in the hospital. I have a friend, and it's by no accident where the bailiff where we've gone tonight, where Antoinette has prayed for the sick families and so forth, and we're going to work on goodies and items to take to the hospital for children who are suffering from cancer. How many people know somebody that has cancer? How many people know what cancer is? Okay. Now, cancer is just foreign cells that come into your body and take over parts of your body and basically destroys it. Now, God is a healer, as we all know, right? Amen. And we are, at this point, we're going to make socks for cancer kids. And it's kids like you guys, kids your age and even younger, who were either born with cancer or developed cancer as they were growing up. Now think of the fact that you've never spent the night in the hospital. Some of these children have been in the hospital for months upon months. And they go through chemotherapy. And what chemotherapy is basically a drug that is placed in your body to attempt to kill the cancer cell. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I have a friend who's suffering from cancer, and he goes through chemotherapy as well. And some weeks he does chemotherapy, he's up and excited and doing certain things, and other times he can't do anything. And that's what happens to these little babies. So tonight, what I'm asking you to do is when you're designing the socks or designing the cards, I want you to pray over it. Even if you just say, God, please heal whomever hand this goes into. Even if it's a nurse or a doctor, everybody out there has something going on. So I want you to just pray, because I'm not going to take up too much time to do all of this. But when you're working on whatever it is you're working on, I can't say put yourself in their shoe, because you probably can't even think or imagine what it feels like. But what I want you to do is, as you're drawing, if you're drawing a pretty heart, God, whoever eye sees this heart, let them be healed. Whomever puts the socks on, God, let them be healed. Because Jesus died on the cross for our sins. He died on the cross for every affliction that we would have. So some of these children may not know God. Can you imagine not knowing God? Jesus. But some of these babies may not know God. So pray over the items that you're working on tonight, all righty? How many of you are going to pray? And if you don't know how to pray over them, are you willing to ask somebody to help you pray? How many of you are going to pray over the items you're working on? And if you don't know how to pray, just say, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Heal whoever gets this. That's it. And he'll do it. All righty? I'm going to turn it over to Miss Dana.
Be recorded.